Okay, I keep having to start this over because I don't have a lot of space on my phone and I keep having to delete stuff. Anyway, I'm at work today, so I might have to pause, just to warn you. Today's story is from Mexico and is about La Santa Muerte, or we'll call her Lady Death to make it a little bit easier. And this story is a little bit scary, and it doesn't have a happy ending. So if that's not for you, you can just wait till I do another story tomorrow. Now, in Mexico, Lady Death isn't always considered scary, even though she looks like kind of like what you expect Death to look like. She's tall and looks like a skeleton, and she has a scythe. But people respect Lady Death. So the story is about Raimundo. Raimundo's a young man who makes his living by going into the forest and collecting wood to sell to people so they can burn it in their fireplace or their stove. And on this evening, Raimundo stayed out a little too late, and it's not safe, he thinks, to travel home in the dark. So he decides to camp out in the woods. He builds a fire, and he sits down and he gets out some food he packed. He has some tortillas and some beans. And he's about to eat when he hears a sound, and he looks up, and coming through the woods is a wagon pulled by two black horses and being driven by Lady Death. And Raimundo, to show his respect, says, "Hello, good evening." Lady Death stops her wagon, and she says, "May I sit by your fire?" And Raimundo says, "Of course, please, sit." So she sits down, and Raimundo asks, "Do you want some of my dinner?" And Lady says, "Yes, please." So he splits it up, the beans and tortillas, splits them in half, and he gives Lady Death a little more than half. And they sit and they eat and they talk about the weather. And when they're done, Lady Death says, "You've been very kind to me today. I would like to do something for you to repay you. Is there anything you want?" Raimundo says, "No, I'm fine. I just like to do nice things for people." So Lady Death says, "In that case, I'm going to give you an ability. Whenever you touch somebody, if they're sick or if they're injured, you'll heal them instantly. But there's an exception. If you see me standing at the head of their bed, then you won't be able to heal them. It's their time to go." And Raimundo says, "Okay, that sounds fair." And so Lady Death gets back in her wagon, and she heads off. The next day, Raimundo goes home, and on the road, he runs into a friend who has twisted his ankle. So Raimundo comes up to him says, "Put your arm around me, I'll help you get the rest of the way home." And as soon as Raimundo touches his friend, the ankle was fine. It's all better. And his friend said, how did you do that? What happened?" So Raimundo told him about meeting Lady Death the night before. And the friend, he says, "That's amazing. I have to tell everybody." And he does. And pretty soon people are coming from all over the place to see Raimundo and be healed. And Raimundo, he helps all of them. He doesn't care who they are. And he doesn't ask for anything in return. But a lot of people give him gifts. And it's rude to turn down gifts. So he accepts them. And pretty soon he's kind of rich and famous. He's so famous that the mayor of the village hears about him and asks him to come heal him when he was sick. That's when Raimundo met the mayor's daughter, Maria, and they immediately fell in love. They started planning the wedding right away. But on the wedding day, everyone came to Raimundo and said, "Raimundo, Maria's sick. You have to hurry and help her." So Raimundo hurries to her bedside, and she's lying there and she's very ill. But only Raimundo can see that Lady Death is standing at the head of the bed. And Raimundo, he goes, "Oh no, I'm not supposed to heal her with Lady Death at the head of the bed." And he thinks about it. And before, anytime she was standing at the head of the bed, he didn't heal. He said, "I'm sorry, it's their time." But this time, he said to the mayor, "Okay, this may sound weird, but we're going to turn the bed around." And so everybody helps him turn the bed until Lady Death is standing at the foot of the bed. And then Raimundo touched Maria, and healed her. And everybody was very happy, and the wedding went forward, and Maria and Raimundo moved in together. And it seemed like things were going to be okay until Death rolled up to Raimundo's house in her cart, in her wagon. And Raimundo's all, hey, Lady Death, how's it going? He's pretty nervous. And Lady Death says, Raimundo, come with me. And you don't say no to Lady Death. So Raimundo gets in the wagon, and they drive all the way out to the desert. They go to a cave. And when they go inside the cave, Raimundo sees it's filled with candles. Thousands of candles, all burning. And Lady Death says each of these candles represents a person. And when they burn low and the candle goes out, that means it's their time. And that's when I come collect them. And she points to 2 candles. And one candle's tall and one is short. And she points to the tall one and she said, this used to be Maria's candle. It used to be low because it was almost her time. But because you healed her, your candle got shortened now. And Raimundo says, I'm sorry, Lady Death, I'm sorry. Maria and I love each other so much. I couldn't let her die. And I can't leave her. I can't die first. It'll break her heart. Is there anything you can do? And Lady Death thinks about it. She says, there's something I can do so that you'll stay together. And Raimundo says, thank you, thank you. And Lady Death leans over to the 2 candles and she goes, and blows them both out.